Hi there, welcome to GrainTV. It's Wednesday, November 4th. We had an up day in the grains. Let's take a look at the Grain Edge trading platform and see where we closed. In Chicago, corn was unchanged at 380.5, while beans for January delivery up 6, and DC wheat in Chicago up 9 cents. Let's take a look at the corn chart. We had a pretty topsy-turvy day. Corn spent most of the day in positive territory, but we sold off the last 25 minutes to close the day unchanged. This is a 5-minute bar chart here, and what you can see is that we jumped higher sort of mid-morning and traded up in that 383 range, but at the end of the day the sellers came in on full force and just pushed us back down to unchanged. That's not a good sign. This is a market that's been struggling for quite some time. We have a very lack of export news that is really driving or keeping this market sort of out of positive territory, and this sign of sellers showing back up late in the trade session is just more signal that this is a market that's going to have a hard time holding any gains in the short run. Some of the news that was out this morning, there was some small export deals done. Taiwan Sugar Company did announce they bought some small loads of U.S. corn and U.S. beans, but really that was it. We've had no flash sales from USDA on soybeans lately, and so that has been limiting any sort of upside potential as well. The USDA's export sales report tomorrow is expected to show about 1.4 to 1.8 million metric tons in soybean sales. So it'll be interesting to see tomorrow morning at 7:30 Central Time when USDA comes out whether we can exceed that again for yet another week. We haven't had the export sales announcements this week like we have in the past, so it'll be interesting to see if we can top the 2 million metric ton mark. Other news today, ethanol production came out, and that was actually good news, but again, trade could not really get overly excited by a 1-week blip. We did see ethanol production up to 969,000 barrels per day, up from 944,000 last week, and the best week we've had since about mid-July. You know, the underlying problem with ethanol is, of course, the tight margins. We're seeing oil and gasoline prices continue to come under pressure. We saw oil sell off today as energy stocks were higher than expected, crude stocks were higher than expected, and so that took some of the sales out of the crude oil market that had been trading higher for the last 2 sessions. Tomorrow we're going to see FAS's export sales report. We're looking for about 1.4 to 1.8 million metric tons on beans. Corn and wheat, nothing really expected to be out of the ordinary. We've had below expectations for corn and wheat for the last few weeks. So it'll be interesting to see if we can finally change that mentality and get this market on the demand side situation. That's all we got for today. Join us tomorrow on GrainTV.